so freaking bored, nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. I am so freaking bored, nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate.
Guys, welcome. Girls, gonna be looking at Abrasive Double IPA from SURLY. 9.2%. And it comes in a big can. You guys know I love big cans. Of course, the downside is if it's really, really good, there's more of it. And if it sucks, there's more of it. Abrasive. Ooh, I'm getting some good head too. Not a bad way to end out the week. It has a tropical fruitiness. And when it comes to SURLY, I'm probably not even 50% on stuff that I like. But even though he's not here to chastise me, for some reason I feel even more pushed. So, cheers. Tastes a lot like it smells. I'm getting pineapple, mango, maybe some orange in there. It's got a little bit of a buttery thing going, which I'm sure has nothing to do with eating the pretzel spindles. Like I always say, I don't want this to be all day, so let's just get on it. Missed Cobra's comment about cheers to the Hold My Beer Club. Hanging with Mr. Holster, the re-upload, Walter Miner, love it. Gun Collector 007 says he is truly missed. Yes. First, on flask number 37, is this video needs more Kavalan shots, and you can only guess who that comes from, with the sub-comment, anything would help. Jolson and Tardisius. Being that I know one of them, and the other one I've never had the pleasure to talk to on the phone or even email, maybe they're both Jolson. And then, Jolson, I don't know who sent them, but instead of, and I tried even going on Amazon to see if I could find some, these ones don't work all that well. But I found one container of the ones that came on the pop-out plastic tab, and these ones, work pretty damn good. Second, or being second, is Scotsman saying whiskey. It doesn't take long, does it? Just doesn't. Well, little something as a small money would be happy to point out. We'll call it show prep. Little of the old Cavalier. You can tell that it's pretty good. The bottle is going relatively fast, and of course I need to make sure I hang on to this so that Joey and Nyhap can take a little off of it. I don't know about Jerry. I mean, going off the kind of beer that Jerry drinks, I don't think. I think this would probably be like way too much for him. Master 2, cheers to all the hoodlums. Real Cobra Burnout, top 4. Poco Loco in before Joey. Cobra said every guy ever. Stalker Steve is 5th. Poco Loco, hashtag fuck cowbell. David Brown, hello, sweethearts. Cobra says, FYI, audiobooks are a blessing for Eric if they come with a comic book to follow along. EMT Railfan, yo, David Brown, what's going down? EMT Railfan, Eric is hooked on phonics. He's learning to read. Read faster, Eric. Yeah, I gotta get through the second book. Poco Loco, speaking of off the grid and ex-girlfriends, I get my sex from my girlfriend now that she's an ex. Hey, little hate sex is always nice. Gillian, here, cheers. Poco Loco, rum. I don't think I saw what he just wrote there. Poco Loco, Forbidden Planet sounds like John Solar's balls. RSI, Buick Grand National. Yes. I have, obviously I've seen them up close, the Grand National and the GSX or whatever the hell the other one is. I've never been for a ride in one, but I know they're pretty damn fast. Now, if they would have just done that with the V8, I mean, of course that style body usually ended up with the 302, which is also a disappointment. I wish that series of cars would have come with the 350 at a minimum. Loma Company top 20, woohoo! I'm sure that's easy. J Dog here at work. Poco Loco, I think it's time to graduate to the first time to graduate to fist punch the fart box. Poco Loco, why are wives like diapers? They are usually full of shit, but they're disposable. Yeah. The real Cobra Burnout, David, I thought the dinner date was our secret. Laugh out loud. J-Dog, Buick Grand National, GNX was even better. Oh yeah. Steven, you eat those dinosaur dicks over here, David Brown? Yeah, well, quoting David Brown. Real cool burnout, 1 hour and 18-minute mark. David giving us some savage advice. I'm not gonna click on the link. Maybe later, and I'll relive whatever fascinating thing that he had to say at 1 hour and 18-minute and 10-second mark. Stormy Coyote, this video needs more cowbell-wise simultaneously shooting the AR cap gun. Also been a long time since a good dick chug. Better get on it. If Matt is there, have him join in on either. Oh, actually, I don't know about the cowbell part. It seems that these are the ones that actually have some snot to them. You just pull them out of the little grid. The other thing I noticed is the pistol is a little bit more finicky on that whole closing part, but even these settle into that one a little bit better. What was this request? Cowbell while simultaneously shooting the AR cap gun. We're going to skip the dick chug though, okay? We don't want to completely lose the... See, there's like a whole array of even more down there. And then there's even more over on the dryer. Does that count as cowbell? That's more like ring for beer. Yeah, probably not. I can already feel Stormy Coyote's disappointment in that whole thing. And I'm not using the cowbell with the goddamn handle on it. That thing is like see, it's still very muted because there's I mean, this is This is one of the... This has to be like in contentions for maybe... self-cleaning too. I got shit in my hole. It's just so concealed in there that, you know, they should have put like some kind of sound ports. I mean, better not let the government find out that this is fully suppressed. And of course it has the, of course I've only broken that a couple of times and had to fix it. Whoop. And that would be again. You know, this thing was just, Cobra, this thing was just never meant to have a bipod on it. I mean, it's cool as hell, but here, it's only for show. I guess it just has to be for show because it won't stay on it. As it lives over here in the M16 rack. Harmarsh 2, Grand National was Buick. I'm a gearhead. See, if I'm not hanging out with you guys, the only time when I have the TV on, it's Motor Trend. Other than that, like at night, I watch Star Trek, usually an episode or two sometimes before I go to bed, depending on, you know, I just hate that. You know, it's like you're tired, you decide to go to bed, and by the time you're upstairs and touch the pillow, it's like, a couple of weekends ago, I watched a movie and 4 episodes of Star Trek between when we got in bed and when I finally turned the tablet off. A 2-hour movie and four or more episodes of Star Trek Next Gen. I think it was somewhere around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I normally get up on a Saturday between 6:30 and 7:30 at the latest. And I think I still did. J-Dog. Whiskey. Okay. J-Dog. Now, if J-Dog was here, what would he want? Good. You know what? I'm going in. I know I can't save this forever. This is the very, very, very aged whiskey that I got from JR10 Desert Gold. Right to the rim, and looks like I ended up with another flask to send to NIAP. This is another case of you know, that stuff that doesn't age once it was, in this particular case, put in a caboose or whatever section of train. JR10 J-Dog. To both of you, one for calling it, and this being the last shot from the flask. Oof. I'm not even sure how I'd, oh God. I was going to say, I'm not even sure how I'd rate that if it just showed up as a mystery flask. It starts off, a little, compared to, you know, some scotch or something, it starts off a little on the harsh side, but boy, it just like blended off and went to like this really heavy, almost like caramel sweetness to it. And it definitely feels like it has a little attitude behind it. little attitude, JR10 and J-Dog, just like my choice of my home defense gun for this evening. My P220 Hunter, chambered in 10mm. Mr. Holster had one of these, and I know that you know, we had talked about it, and it was one of the guns that was on his list to be sold. And I believe like a year later he still had it because he did not want to let it go from his collection. The only thing that I think is kind of funky about this is it looks like it is set up for a red dot. And as of the, I mean, if one of you knows of, I'm not planning, well, I don't know if I'd put a red dot on here or not. I like carrying this gun, and I know the trend is starting to go in the direction of people putting micro red dots on their carry guns, and I'd probably destroy it. I got dings in the one that's on the G20 race gun, and that has only been a range gun. I've had it in a holster and I've worn it around the house, but yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, you can see if you wanted to like put a different set of sights on here where they would go because of where it's dovetailed way up forward of it. But love this gun. Actually shooting this gun, if for somehow you could disguise the grips on this, and you handed probably 10 of my friends came up for a shoot, or even the New York boys at the end of April, and you would wear a blindfold and then just squeeze off a couple of rounds and tell me, are you holding my 1006 or are you holding the P220? They are very similar in their characteristics. Oh, let me go through the efforts to show how the gun is cleared of the safety sallies. Oh, I forgot. And like I've said a few times, this was the first firearm I ever owned with a blacked out rear blade. And when I first bought this from Ed, I was like, I don't know, I'll probably, if something ever comes out on the market, I'll probably change it. Oh my God, yes, Gunwild 1, I'll give you all the credit for it. When it comes to shooting outdoors, you know, the spacing between the back blade and the front is fairly narrow, so there's not a lot of side to side play in order to center that. But when you are outside shooting, that is like this big black billboard, and then you just put that fiber optic front sight right in the middle of it and pull the trigger. Honestly, for a gun that is not going to be a concealed carry gun, even though I do carry this quite a bit, as I can already testify. So this comes from SIG, and it has much more damage on it. Now you have to keep something in mind. Now, if I were to go grab the FN57 and you'd go, whoa, there's a lot more damage to the hydro dipping on the your FN. Well, I probably have a total of 30 days. I mean, I can even bring that even down for you. I probably have less than 40 hours of having this on my side. The FN57, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even begin to guess. I carried that, you guys that, especially in the deplorables, I carried that as a work gun. I've been laying under counters, installing sinks, and doing PEX work, and all, just absolutely nasty ass shit. And, of course, there's a few people that completely think I'm insane because I have all of a $3,000 plus FN57. When you factor in the cost of the gun and everything that Jay at Elite Ammunition has done for me, it's an expensive gun. I personally, I know, and there's going to be a bunch of people that are like, I understand, you know, first, a lot of people just can't afford to even buy that gun all on its own. I mean, you're lucky if you can find one for $1,000. If you found an FN57 for $1,000 somewhere, if I had the money, I'd probably go stand on the corner with my cardboard sign trying to buy an FN57 for $1,000. And real gun people would slide to a stop and just throw $100 bills at me. Here, go get that gun. Because $1,000 for one. So it's already an expensive firearm. And then, you know, and I know, you know, nobody, there's been a few comments just talking about the amount of money invested in it. And I get that. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, Jay did a lot, I paid for the stuff that Jay would have had to pay for. The dipping, the sending it to row bar, that kind of thing. Jay gave me the stuff that he did in-house for doing a video for him. You know, and it only took a couple, 3 years. Of course, you guys have seen it all the time because it's just a fantastic gun. You know, the one thing I told Jay, and Jay knows damn well, and Jay is the one that told me, if there's something you don't like, if there's something that you're not happy about, if there's something that, you know, you want to discuss in a video, talk about it. I'm not afraid. My company stands for it on its own. You know, me and Jay were customers and a business owner before we turned into great friends. Jay is just absolutely an incredible person. He's one of the people, and I actually told him this today. He's one of the people that I so wish I lived closer to. I try to help him and his Boy Scouts out as much as I can. You know, anything that I get from Battle Box that I know that that either he or the Boy Scouts could use, it's heading his way. In exchange, he looks out for me when he gets a hold of my firearms. He has a few things in his possession right now, and Jay, as you well know, I have a few things I'd love to be able to send to you. The problem is, one of them would be Ed's the Ruger. The problem is by the time you're done with it, it's going to be so frickin' awesome that I don't know how I would feel about carrying it. But I guess my thought is, the sooner that I send that Ruger to Jay, the sooner that he can make it extra special. You know, I don't know what we do about the lasering for you know, Ed in the side of it. I wish, you know, if I had a chance to go back in time, I would have told that dude, you know, double tap it or hit it 3 times. You know, make that indentation for USAF and hashtag Be Like Ed is deep. I mean, bore that bitch in there all the way till you get to the barrel. I don't care, because that's Ed means more to me than, I mean, the gun will never be up. Then the gun will never be up for sale. If anything were to ever happen, if anything were ever to happen to me, the only thing that I left it entirely up to Christine is use it and enjoy it. Give it to Samantha so that she can use it and enjoy it, and it stays in our family, or send it to Ed's daughter. Because I know Ed's daughter would love to have that gun, and it's almost like I wish I could clone it and make that happen right now. But I love that thing. Not only is it an awesome 1911 chambered in .45 ACP, but it used to belong to Ed. So I'm actually kind of leaning more towards sending it to Jay sooner than later, because I'd just rather tear it up again and then have to send it back to Jay in 5 to 10 years to have it done again. That's, you know, given that I live that long, because I have more fun than the average person. But this was one of the things that Ed bought exclusively knowing that he was going to sell it to me. Ed, you are an incredible person. He's like, yeah, I picked up one of those 10mm P220s, and I'm not telling you this to piss you off or make you upset because I got one and you don't. I bought this gun because I want to sell it to you. I'm just gonna have a little fun with it, do some videos, maybe hang on to it a year or so, and then it's yours. And it's like, there was a few other things in Ed's collection. Unfortunately, we all know how that turned out. Yeah, this thing is just a beast. It's because of the weight and the characteristics. I mean, it's a single action only, so it's like a 1911. And the funny thing is the trigger is. Again, it's so much like my 1006. And to be totally honest, I've never liked this look. And Jolson, you know it. This is also a serious candidate to go to J Elite Ammunition. This is a stainless steel slide, a stainless steel frame. I'm not sure about. I'm really kind of digging the G10 grip on it, but see, what I always wanted was the Elite, and Jolson has one of these, and I've been considering having Jay do the hard chrome or whatever is the most durable look that you can get. I don't want it pimped out shiny. I don't want it mirrored so you can see you. But the Sig Sauer Elites, which are stainless with the rosewood grips, I might entertain keeping this grip on it, but getting rid of the dip. Okay, and this is why this shit always goes along. Hops and lead, Steven. Okay, Google. Play Drop 'Em Out by Wheeler Walker Jr. No. Google, fuck that.
Drop 'Em Out by Wheeler Walker Jr. Sure. Playing on Spotify.
I walked out of The Martian. Paid my money. Thought it fucking sucked shit. Matt Damon was just boring me as shit. I just walked out. I mean, not just now, but earlier. Today.
Hey, Google. Stop that. I don't know what that is, but I'll have to check it out later. Poco Loco, scratch that. Mag dump the fart box. Scotsman, 2 minutes and 52 seconds if you only weren't worried about the smell till after you drank it. Joey Cuz, David was right, has the right idea. Take a seat and watch the shit show roll. And it fucking never ends. Douchebag says, you finally admitted your drawings are rigged. Nice job. No, I never did. I mean, who the fuck thumbs that up? Seriously, whoever thumbs any of the bullshit from him, I don't even know if we can even be friends. Take that as you want. Smile Money? I'm not going to read this shit out loud. Smile Money. Yeah, Smile Money, you are 100% right. No, there was not any fucking names or rounds. You are putting two things together, douchebag. Smile Money. Yes, Smile Money, you are 100% right. Oh my God, were you... Okay. I love, Chuck, that I get to live rent-free in your head. The reference that he makes, Okay, okay. I don't know if you're just a fucking idiot or just got played for a fool. Moving on. DFC. Yo. DFC. We still got to find some time to shoot. And we don't have to go all the way up to the shack anymore. Thanks to Bunky. And David Brown. Notice that pause for effect? Oh, just because you never know what might happen. Make sure that's ready to go. You know, we have a range that is definitely a lot closer. About a 23-minute drive tops. 300 out to 300 yards for rifle, and then a pretty decent pistol range. Wade, last time I reached in and randomly grabbed something, my wife got pregnant. Wade, outro babe was ass-tastic. Glad you approved. I mean, who gives a fuck about the scrolling whatever it is I drank at the end? I think a babe there is much better. Crazy Scotsman, I'm working on optics as well. Got the email address that I needed. Will keep you posted. So as of right now, Scotsman has found the brace. Well, I don't even know what brand he's gone with. As part of full disclosure, I know Hornet Fixer also picked something up, but not to piss off Jim, so I'm going to have a talk with him tonight, because by this point in time he would have heard me say this. If we have a part that has been sponsored by a company, that will take priority, which either Jim can keep his for a future build, or we'll use it on something else for Justin. That's completely Jim's prerogative. But if Scotsman went to bat and found a company that is expecting to be part of Justin's final mission, I like working with companies, and I like working with companies that are willing to work to help veteran suicides be put to the number 0. Smile Money. Yes, my friend had a Buick Grand National. He had the Mustang 5.0. But the slightest rain and you couldn't drive it. The Grand National, you had more control and you had to punch it to make it show off. Well, that's because the Mustang was a V8, and I did actually have when I managed a store down in the Twin Cities, a Domino's Pizza store. One of my drivers had a brand new Mustang 5.0, and I was just like, dude. And I mean, he was like young. He was like 20 or 21 years old, and it's like, you have a brand new Mustang V8, and you're going to do everything you can to make sure that pizza's there in 30 minutes or less. Okay, I respect that. Somehow, between the radar detector and the fact that his car never had the topper on top that said Domino's Pizza, I never received a phone call about his driving, so that was okay. I had another driver that I used to get so many fucking phone calls about his driving that I finally said, I'm done. Anytime that someone says, I want to talk to the manager about the asshole that's driving the white Toyota, I would just let the guy that actually drove the white Toyota take the phone call. Crazy Scotsman. Took damn near close to 30 minutes to get to the comments. What the fuck? Hey. Smile Money. At one time you had a term inner circle for the group, but the group has dwindled. Chuck was specifically named as an outsider of that. Oh yeah, that's right here. I keep, actually there's oh, this is Hi Sean. In case he's, where'd he go? I actually have a few of them. Oh yeah. Talking about this one, the inner circle, and Chuck. That's you. And you couldn't prove the point any more than the fact that how you've been hook, line, and sinker. Smile Money. Here's an idea. Next time David is co-host, have a thermos of coffee. Actually, I wanted to get a hot plate. Oh, I received a couple of packages today, and I decided, because if I ordered them, they would have had like my name on it. This one just says Ebomi from discoverbooks.com. Let me file that right there. This one says Eric Funbags Bomi. Now, I'm pretty sure when I order shit, I haven't used that in years, ever since I stopped stripping on the weekends. You know, you put on a few pounds and you just don't feel like hitting it hard anymore. Dots Home Style Pretzels. Wow. Okay, let's go full in on this shit. Okay. North Dakota. Artificial butter. Flavor. Dried onion. Dried garlic. Spices. Okay, whoever sent these. These are actually very good. And I can usually tell the difference, like this one right here. These are the spindles, and they have they're like encrusted with a buttery garlic. I think I like the dots more. Wow. See, I have to choose wisely, because these ones were the butter spindles that J-Dog brought over. They're good, but they add no extra kick at all. I think these Dots pretzels, they have the buttery garlic that the ones I can get have. but they have a little bit of a zip on the end. Those I can actually say I like those a little bit better than the spindles. And the spindles are fucking awesome. Alright, thank you, whoever sent those. Those are very good. Those are very good. Sharky, from across the big pond. The first movie I remember seeing in the theater was Return of the Jedi back in 1983. I was 8 at the time. Regarding the whole Star Wars versus Star Trek thing, I like both. However, I am not sure about the new Picard series. Have not seen a single episode. I was that close to renewing my my Fox streaming, and I was told by several of you not to waste my fucking time because Picard blew dick. And that's too bad. But then again, that's the way the last series went. It all started with these fucking pieces of overpaid shit taking a knee and supporting other fucking overpaid cocksuckers taking a knee. So it's like, I started that series off already not liking them. And then it was like, there was like 5 episodes, and then there was like 3 fucking weeks, and then there was like 4 episodes, and then like a month, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you, Fox. Stop. I don't want to spend my money with you anymore. MP Gunther 1. My first 2 cars were muscle cars, a Grand Sport and a GTO. Now I drive a Kia. And he has a little unhappy face. Well, I feel ya. I feel ya. The very first car I ever owned was a the Chevy. Why am I now drawing a blank? The Malibu? No. It had that like almost Riviera style back window. It had the 400 in it, and it used lots of gas. Of course, at the time, gas was like $1 a gallon. It's like I see it. Whatever. That car, by today's standards, is pretty sought after. So at the time, it was really nothing overly special. The Grand Prix. Then my second car was a Volkswagen Rabbit. I really missed that car. Tremendous gas mileage, and it was fun to drive. Then I had a Chevy Monza with the 3.2 liter V6 in it, and it went pretty good. It was impressive to drive. And then I sold it to my best friend at the time, and he brought it to his mechanic, who found a 2-inch slit in a vacuum hose, and the fucking thing went like a raped ape, and Bob would not sell it back to me. Probably one of the cars that I wish I still had today was a Volkswagen Scirocco. That was a lot of fun. I had a Chrysler T-Top, is it the Marauder? And that had that slant 6 in it. Oh my god, going down the on-ramp to get onto the freeway was like... You just passed 30. I'm like, oh, fuck this thing. It was a cool looking car. It had some Keystone mags on it all the way around. A little bit of a lift in the back, but Jesus God, was that thing a freaking piece of shit. And I sold that, and I bought that Ford GT that I wish I would have never put that into a farmer's yard sideways at 55 miles an hour. Yeah, the Escort. You know, who cares about the Escort? But man, I don't know what was weird about this one. I don't know if someone put a wide body kit on it, but it was like honestly, it was one of the most badass looking cars I've ever owned. That Scirocco, that was pretty good. The Monza had flares and a factory. It was all factory, but it was just a badass car. The only thing that ever really bad happened with that is I was going like 55 miles an hour, locked up the brakes, put it in reverse, ran it to redline and dumped the clutch and disappeared in a cloud of smoke for about a block until the reverse cluster in the transmission shattered with a very violent sound. So I ended up having to have a little work done to that car. I've honestly really never owned any really which I would call really good muscle cars, hypercars. I mean, give me the right amount of money and I can bring you some shit that you know, curdle your nipples. I'm depending on what it is, I am probably a Mopar or no car fan. But having said that, I absolutely, if I won the lottery, would have a 1967 GT 500 Shelby. There's a reason that our dog was named Shelby, is because we both absolutely love the Shelby Mustangs. And then after that, everything on my list is probably from Mopar. 1969 or 1970 Charger. Fucking any Challenger. Mike, hello, Mr. Brown, my friend, how are ya? Hopefully he sees this. Mike again, sweet pen, I need one. Mike, the Grand National was a 1986 3.8 liter V6 turbocharged Buick. The AMC Ambassador police car had a 401. The AMC V8 would be a 304, a 327, a 360, a 390, 401 in the Javelin. My mom's was the 390. And it was embarrassing. Jay from Elite Ammunition, Fleischmann's, I thought that was mayonnaise. Mustard brand. Yeah. Jay again, those are classic. I had some vintage ones from the 1950s. I lost decades ago. I'm sure you're talking about the pen. Sharky, hashtag fuck rats sounds pretty good, actually. Sharky, adding proper bedding pillars to the Mosin should help, I think. It should become a tech driver as the stock looks good for it. Suck at the accuracy compared to the old stock. Well, the only reason that I had apprehensions about the Boyd's is so much better looking. The Boyd's is so much better looking. The ATI, I did have bedding pillars in there. As a matter of fact, I did such a good job that they're actually still stuck in the chassis. I still have the Mosin's ATI chassis. Anybody? Now, the Boyd's, you know, the issue always is a really good drill press is so much better than doing these by hand, because it is not a straight shot through it. It's just a little bit less than 1/2 of an inch that you have to drill for the bedding pillars. But I'm here to tell you that basically it's the exact same setup now in the Boyd's as it was in the ATI, but the Boyd's has less tolerance for where everything is pinched together. Good or bad, like I said, the one thing that was off to me is when I pulled the trigger. The harmonics really were different in the Boyd stock, and I'm just like, well, it's a wood stock versus a plastic. But when I put it all together with the bedding pillars and tighten it all up, I still have, take the dollar bill and you can run it all the way up the stock until you get to the chamber. So I have it free floated, but when you pull the trigger now, instead of kind of a twang and this reverberation that you feel through the stock is deadened, and that is because of those bedding pillars. So yeah, but like I said, a few people, I wouldn't be a proponent, a big person against me going to the Boyd's and keeping it in the ATI stock was Christopher alone with company, because the gun was unbelievable the way it was. But like Smile Money pointed out, there was a scope change that happened in all of this when everybody was shooting at the 550 yard target and doing a cold bore one shot cold bore hit at 550 yards for guys that have never shot beyond 100 yards. That was in the ATI chassis, but with the original, the millet scope on it. So I think it just needs to be sighted back in, and always when it matters, shoot my brother-in-law's ammo through it. .311. Don't shoot a 308 projectile on the 54R, and a lot of people will reload it like that. That's great for the range. You're never going to hurt the gun, but you're not going to get the kind of accuracy out of it that this gun is capable of. For an $89 rifle, of course. Sharky again. Ye Old Whiskey Distills just started. Ye Old Whiskey Distilleries just started by selling scotch right out of the kettle. Ain't nobody got time to age stuff when you need to make money off the local drunks. Probably surplus got stored and aged properly. See, that's the big question. I mean, right now, if a bunch of us said, hey, let's start doing whiskey or scotch, well, that's great, but if the very first thing we ever sell is a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, what did we do for money for the last decade? Joey. That's where Joey comes in, sucking dick at the truck stop. Gillian, thanks for the kind words, Smile Money. Smile Money. Damn, that Smile Money shows up on the latest donations to Justin's Final Mission. Not as generous as Hornet Fixer, but there. So I take it Smile Money went over and you made another donation. And he's got more frequent flyer miles than most. What is this? Wow, thanks for the update. My safe is telling me that it detected movement. How long ago did I go in there and grab the SIG? I still highly recommend the Safe Alert system. Fucking awesome. Gunwild, I identify as first, bitches. Gunwild, I have a hard time falling asleep too. My brain doesn't shut off. Jeff, if at any point in time you figured this shit out, please let me know. But because between, destroying my teeth, clenching at night, eating my own jaw, resulting in like 4 weeks of the utmost pain. Yeah, that whole thing, that had nothing to do with a tooth. Thank you, though, Chuck, for giving a fucking shit for about 5 fucking seconds in your pathetic life. It's not a tooth. I literally took like a gigantic chunk somehow out of the inside of my cheek, and wow, I tell you, with the nerves and shit being that close to your brain, it's still not over. But yeah, Jeff, like I said, I can barely, stumble out of bed at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning and go use the bathroom and come back and I'm just like, well, I wonder if they're ever going to ship this part back to me. It's like, it would really be nice if I could get that bill paid. I mean, the credit counseling company, how the fuck do they expect me to live, those motherfucking cocksuckers? And next thing you know, you lay there for an hour or more, and then the alarm goes off, and you're like, ah! It's like every night. My sister recommended a few things, but unfortunately none of them are legal. Okay, and now we are going straight to the Two-Hearted Ale from the Sunny Slopes of Long Ago Club. This was a 4-pack. We'll continue on in the the Locked and Loaded show tonight, which is all based on the chat room. And I am hoping, what time is it right now? I'm hoping to get this up before we go live on Locked and Loaded. First in, J-Dog, Heart Club. J-Dog. I think that's supposed to be Mr. Holster and beer. It's a cowboy and a beer. Or Mr. Holster and cheers. Or these are good. Small money. Show prep for the chat room rules. Damn, you need to keep your ability to read. Oh, thank you. The promo for Locked and Loaded tonight is fucking awesome. Thank you so much, John Solar. Dr. Steve, so you're still blabbering away. Hope the whiskey was good, or the beer. Beer and whiskey. Stalker Steve, 200 Ed Ale Club. Crazy Scotsman with the last comment from 16 minutes ago. Oh. Was that Carpe Diem? Thanks for celebrating Mr. Holster. I like your videos. Rest in peace, Mr. Holster. I don't know who... Anybody that comes over to this channel and leaves a comment, okay, I subbed. That's cool. Uploads. A week ago, Mossberg 500 Scorpion ATI tactical 12-gauge shotgun. I gotta check out videos. See, new people may not get it, and if I don't respond, then, you know, probably just pissed off at me. So I'm just saying thank you, and I'm hitting the re-up button again. Oh, there's Gunwild saying cheers, bitches. Okay. I didn't put this. You know, again, I'm never really a big fan of. There's things from Surly that are really like, hey, over here, this is like this level of. You know, let's just. I see when you see a Darlene and Express and needing help, like this girl. She looks like she's, you know, it's winter time, and she looks like she could be a little on the chilled side. The best thing to do is to get your core temperature up immediately, and I offer an internal service. Just saying. Abrasive double IPA from Surly. Normally, I can honestly say I'm not really a fanboy of Surly. They have some stuff Furious I like. They've had some of their releases, limited releases. Christine gets me the big bottles, and they've been pretty good. A lot of dynamic stuff from them. This one is actually really not bad at 9.2%. I'm gonna give it a 9, which is kind of shocking. And then we're gonna hit the refresh button. Gunwild, you stand is the last comment. Cheers, guys. Tomorrow I'm have a little rendezvous with one of my oldest friends' son. Very cool cat. Right, David Brown? So me and him and David Brown and Christine are supposed to meet in this place where they make food. I'm just kidding, David. So we're rendezvousing, and then we got to go run some errands, and then Christine is doing the podcast thing. I hope you're checking out her stuff. This week was. There's been a whole bunch of political stuff that stopped. John had all of the stuff submitted like he was supposed to, but it went up slowly because everybody decided to be a political hack. So they stuck Christine on the back burner. Those fucking bitches.